Buhari was spotted walking on the streets of London, weeks after handing over to Tinubu. We know that Buhari said if they disturb him, he will run to Niger Republic. Okay, but now he has been spotted on the streets of London after handing over to Tinubu. So now he could walk freely without any major escort, without any convoy on the streets of London as an ex-president. Meanwhile, the country, Nigeria, that he ruled for 8 years, you cannot move freely on the street. Okay, can he move like this in Nigeria without any escort, without anything? Okay, now because he's now in a country that is very sane and with central security system, so you don't need escort. Okay, and now he could walk freely where the government is working. This is actually a very disappointing one. Okay, and he had the chance of making Nigeria to be like this London for 8 years, but didn't and could not. So some of them will just tell you when they are outside the fence, they will tell you, I will do this, I will do that. But when they get to power, it is fabu. Nothing happens. Former President Muhammadu Buhari was allegedly spotted walking on a street in London, United Kingdom, weeks after handing over government to President Bola Tinubu. Nigerian News records that Buhari and his family packed out of Aso Rock and returned to Daura, his hometown in Katsina State, immediately after the inauguration of the new administration on May 29. Buhari had mentioned at several occasions that he will return to his cattle business in Daura when his tenure as president elapses. The former president and his contingent were allegedly spotted on their way to the mosque in London during the week. Sarah reporters leaked the photos alleging that Buhari fled Nigeria to the UK in Dangote's private jet as pressure mounts to arrest nephew Tunde Sabiu. That is true. The former president reportedly left Nigeria alongside his uncle Maman Daura and nephew Sabiu Tunde Yusuf using a private jet provided by billionaire Aliko Dangote. So according to the platform, the decision to leave might be tied to increasing pressures from Nigeria's secret police, the Department of State Services, to arrest Sabiu, who has been implicated in various corrupt activities over the past 8 years. Nigerian News reports that DSS already has Godwin Emefiele, the suspended governor of the Central Bank of Nigeria, and Abdul Rashid Bawa, the suspended chairman of the Anti-Corruption Body Economic and Financial Crime Commission, EFCC, under scrutiny. Okay, so that is the rumor we're getting, that the Tunde Sabiu has actually been indicted in several fronts, and there's pressure that with the amount of fraud that's seen around both Emefiele and Bawa, that Tunde Sabiu rather should be arrested as well. Even Abubakar Malami, the former AGF, should also be arrested. Several other people, about 8 of them, were mentioned to be arrested. But so in line with that, these guys, Buhari and his people, including the Tunde Sabiu, had escaped Nigeria to United Kingdom. So why did they use a jet of aircraft belonging to Dangote? Why not use Nigerian air flight? Why not use any of the local airlines or any of the foreign airlines like British Airways or all of those flights that fly from Abuja or Nigeria to the United Kingdom? So for them to use a private flight belonging to Dangote, it means it was an escape, probably an escape plan to get Tunde off the shores of Nigeria so as to avoid being arrested by DSS. Because right now there's pressure on DSS to pick him up. Okay, there's very serious pressure on DSS to pick him up. Even Buhari, a lot of things are going to spill, because with the way they're grilling Emefiele and Bawa, by the time they start spilling the beans, there's no way Buhari will be exempted. Buhari had earlier suspected that he might be roped into some of these corruption deals had earlier warned all his ministers and people that work with him that nobody should invite him to come to court to testify, that he will not come. And anybody that invites him will bear the consequence, meaning that he doesn't want to show up for any court case at all. Okay, so it means that he's shielding himself, and as he's shielding himself, he's shielding his close allies from being arrested or prosecuted on any corruption charge or any form of offense at all. And that could be the reason he flew to London and flew with this Tunde Sabiu. Oh, wow. Somebody said, there are a few comments here. Somebody said, you have started your stupid junk journalism. How do you recognize someone by clothes and backside? Look for decent job to do. Exactly, real junk. Shouldn't Buhari have freedom of movement? And some other person saying, Buhari and his partners in loot are roaming the streets of London after liquidating Nigeria due to their inordinate ambition to amass wealth. He is not Buhari. We cannot see his face. That is another aspect of this. Okay. When you look at that picture, he's from his backside. So how can we prove that? That is what somebody is saying here. He is not Buhari. We cannot see his face. We cannot see his face. And somebody said the facilities he is enjoying in UK were built by men like him. Shameless man. Nigeria is poor country with too many people. Yeah, Buhari is wicked and heartless somebody. Buhari doesn't have hunchback and no K-legs and not dark in complexion. Let's see his face in front of that one. Actually, this is not Buhari. Maybe it is Mr. Jibril from Sudan. So why fight against corruption was he fighting? What fight against corruption was he fighting? Buhari was fake after all. Yes, the wicked Buhari was doing a fake fight on corruption. Corruption, really. Abi? Okay, see him for front, bro. Let's see him from his front and confirm that this is Buhari. Actually, he's free to move to developed country like Britain after making Nigeria development as ex-president to be huge debt and questionable rigged presidency. Buhari or Jibril can never make heaven, though all of them are one. They cannot prosecute each other as they know themselves weller. So that is the question. One of the key things here is that this picture about Buhari was taken from his bank. So how are we sure this was Buhari? Okay, so we really need to probably dig further to confirm that this was Buhari. But the fact remains that whether he goes to London now after handing over or not, over his 8 years of tenure, he abandoned the medical facilities in Nigeria to dilapidate and was attending medical care in London. So what is the difference? Whether the picture is genuine or not, what is the difference between his 8 years of medical trip in London with Nigerian money and now that he has left office and he decided to run back to UK? So what's the difference? So whether they say his picture or not his picture, Buhari was completely unpatriotic to the Nigerian system for 8 years in his power, especially around medical care. Okay, he spent Nigerian money hugely, taxpayers' money, to revive his life, revive his blood, and rejuvenate his life in London, leaving the medical facilities and the Ministry of Health in Nigeria to suffer and to die, especially even ordinary hospital in Aso Rock that government officials are supposed to be attending. He couldn't fix it. And now, just about 4 days to hand over, Aisha Buhari, his wife, was telling Nigerians that they have refurbished the hospital in Aso Rock, and that government officials do not have reason to fly abroad for medical care. Just 4 days to May 29 to hand over. So what happened for the full 8 years that yourself and your husband were flying out of Nigeria for medical care? When the husband will be in the UK, she will be in Dubai. She was practically living in Dubai. Okay, just like Atiku too that wants to rule Nigeria and is practically living in Dubai. Okay, so that is the situation that we have right now. Whether he runs to London now or not, he was actually unpatriotic for 8 years in power, that I know. And so there's no big difference between unpatriotism for 8 years, patronizing the medical care system in London, leaving Nigerians own to rotting, and now that he left. So there's no big difference. So Buhari actually was a disservice, complete disservice to Nigeria for the full 8 years. So it's quite unfortunate. And so he deserves whatever anybody throws at him right now.